Sanibonani. I will say good evening to the people of this country, especially the Facebookers. So as umuntu ubeshilo that at 8 we'll be live on Facebook with the Provincial Secretary of the ANCYL League, Thanduxolo, Sabelo. But while we are still waiting for Thanduxolo, as he's about to join us, I have some few notes about young people. Topic it's a national crisis that young people are not employed. And as far as we know, South Africa is becoming young or youth. Now, I have some few quotes now that I want to share while we are still waiting for Comrade Nopal. The first one, Comrade Oliver Tambo, that says the children of any nation are its future. A country, a movement, a person that does not value its youth does not deserve its future. I think that's the first thing that one will bring into our attention, is that as far as I know, as we know, unemployment in South Africa, it's very high. So check our stats, but it's very high. And unemployment is high, you must then know there is a serious crisis. And if the country does not take care of its youth, rest assured whereby there is unrest in society just because of the. So it's very important that we take care of our youth. Another quoting now, the youth of a nation are the trustees of posterity. The last one is youth is the best time to be rich and the best time to be poor. Now, if abantu abasha benganakiwe, most definitely, la ebuncaneni babo being young, if kungekho izinto ezenziwayo, angathi ekhula ngoba poor young, azabe poor isikhathi sakhe sonke. Kanti futhi at the same time eliqiniso liphele ukuthi uma ekwazi ukuthi abe rich young, uyoqhubeka njalo abe rich. So the fact of the matter is that this country must take care of its youth. If not, there's a national crisis that we are facing. Now, so those are important things. Now, as that are important is that, as we all know, South Africa is about 55 million abantu abakhona. And ama stats aveza ukuthi i-first quarter ka 2018 ibone abantu abasha abangasebenzi beyabaningi befika ku 58%. That's the serious challenge. 58% of young people are not working in this country. And if you don't invest in young people, who invest kuphi? Kunento ezwakala njenge joke eshiwo omunye umfo ethi abantu abadala banqwahe nama-position baze bakwazi nokutype but awungilekelele ngitype. So you can see ukuthi there's a serious problem. But the question is, if we are not investing with future, which is young people, where are we investing? Because there must be an investment. But the question is, kuphi? And uma sibuza ukuthi kuphi, as we are waiting for uComrade uLogo Nobhala, as we are asking ukuthi si investor kuphi. But the serious problem is that ama-youth formations kubukeka ngazathi they are nowhere to assist on this issue. I'm glad people like NYDA, they've even issued a statement. So it cannot be business. It's okay. They are not working. It cannot be. So uma ubuka abantu abasha abaningi namhlanje uma bengasebenzi expect after 10 years uzokwenzakalana. There will be unrest in South Africa. Angiqose ngaloko i-network iphinde yaba ne-challenge, but at the same time bengisajaha bengisabheka unobhala ukuthi ungakuphi. So bengisaveza ukuthi, and you must also remember ukuthi this is not just a South African crisis, it's a global disaster. Young people are not employed. And if young people are not employed, what are we expecting? What are we expecting? Are we expecting a good future? It's impossible. It's impossible because if they are not working, abantu abasha, then yathembisa ukuthi there's a serious problem with economy. We are talking about the expropriation of land without compensation. Umbuzo uthi now umbuzo uthi asibonge nangu nobhala usekhona mhlawumbe uzoqala khona la ekuqaleni aqale khona uyalisangena ngoba uyangena sawubona nobhala.
Sibingelele mfundisi, sibingelele nababukeli emakhaya.
Yebo nobhala, kuyaphileka?
Siyaphila mfundisi. Sijabulile nje. Ukuthi sibe sohlelweni lakho mfundisi.
Siyabonga nobhala. But mhlambe umuntu uqale la ungakangeni. Ngiqale la ngithi khona ngikhothe amazwi akashiwo uWartambo athi the children of any nation are its future. A country, a movement, a person that does not value its youth does not deserve its future. We are facing a serious problem in this country. First quarter ka 2018 is vezela ukuthi about 58% of young people are unemployed in South Africa. And if abantu abasha they are not employed, there might be an unrest, because if abantu abasha bengasebenzi ngelanga bazophaphama baye emgwaqeni bashisa amatayi babhidlize izindlu because they are frustrated, they are young, they have energy, they want to work, but they are not working. So this is the crisis. And secondly, bengibuka ama-stats, even globally, it's a problem. Young people are not employed. Now, the first question to you is just a general question. If young people are not working, now, abantu abadala ba-investa kuphi if they're not investing kubantu abasha? And impumela lapho uyizoba njani? That would be my first question.
No, definitely mfundisi. Youth unemployment in Africa is a ticking time bomb. If it's not addressed, this country will go up in flames. Sooner or later, i-ANC kuzomele iqale idile ne-crisis ye-unemployment kuleli lizwe. Okubalulekile ukuthi understand sonke sabantu abasho ukuthi i-unemployment, while it's a revolutionary responsibility ka-government ukuthi ayi-address, but u-government alone cannot do it. Kubalulekile ukuthi asondeze i-private sector. The mistake i-private sector South Africa yenzayo is to believe ukuthi if there is unrest, or if these young people rise, kuzoba khona understanding how they will be rising against the ANC government. The biggest problem it's going to collapse the entire economy. So even those with the haves will also be in trouble, because the entire economy of the country will collapse, because Matabasha will rise up and will begin to take matters to themselves. I was saying even in another debate on land, the problem with white farmers, bacabanga ukuthi le nkinga esibhekene nayo ye-unemployment inkinga kahulumeni. Akuyona inkinga yahulumeni kuphela eNingizimu Afrika, inkinga yawo wonke umuntu, because when these young people begin to rise against the current unjust economic system of the country, kuzo disrupt everyone, even those who believe that they are living fine now. When the economy is disrupted, everyone else is disrupted. That's why we must join hands as a country and as a people to ensure that we deal with the crisis of unemployment. And indeed, President Oliver Tambo was very much correct when he said a country that does not value its youth does not deserve a future. Now, indeed, if you don't invest in your young people, how do you expect that there will be a future of that country? Because you are creating an entire generation which is supposed to be the next generation of adults, which will be without any formal investment. So that is why it's important to invest in education. It's important to invest in skills development. It is important to ensure that you make them part of leadership, because they need to begin to understand that this country, at a certain stage, they will begin to take it forward once they begin to inherit the reins. So indeed, that is what we are trying to do as the youth in KwaZulu-Natal, to say we must ensure a generational mix. That is why Ubonama ANC conferences across the province, elect even young people, because we are saying young people must be together with the old people now to ensure Uguti decisions are taken together in the best interest of the country, and to ensure that we bring the youth agenda in the main table of the African National Congress.
Ngiyabonga noPaul. You know ukuthi usuphendule umbuzo wesibili ngifuna ukubuza, kodwa ngifuna ukuthi ube specific kuwo. What is i-role ye-ANC Youth League in particular KwaZulu-Natal? Not that we know ukuthi, because i-crisis unemployment ayiqhamuki sivela manje. If you check ama-stats akho uzobona ukuthi even from 2015 beloku kukhuphuka, i-decline ikhuphuka. But what is i-role ye-ANC Youth League in addressing the matter? Because kubalulekile ukuthi sazi ukuthi i-Youth League has played this role in making sure that this matter is well addressed.
Well, firstly, Mfundisi, uzo understand ukuthi i-role yokuqala ekumele siyenze as young people is to put the agenda on the table. For a very long time, abantu abadala, they believe ukuthi i-youth nje iy'ngane no siyobuye sibabone, and i-agenda yabo ilibe libekwa at the end of the table, or behind the table, or underneath the table. So as the Youth League in KZN, what we have first done is to put the issues of young people at the center of the table and make the challenges facing young people a problem to everyone in the government. And secondly, we then said, let us now deal with the institutionalization of youth development. If we're going to deal with youth development, you can't just have everyone else have a strategy. Let us institutionalize it in government so that there is a common approach towards dealing with matters affecting young people. How do you then do that? You need to then ensure that in every single department, you have a voice for young people who's just going to be there reminding everyone that these are the issues of, affecting young people, and who are going to be there in decision making of each and every department and each and every municipality to ensure that there is these matters being dealt with, especially when budgeting time comes. You will remember we have been making a noise about set aside. Now, this set aside, obviously, the leadership, in particular your MECs, the premier, the mayors, will obviously know about them, but they will not necessarily prioritize them if they are not reminded on a daily basis. So that is why we would say we need to have someone at a managerial level. That is why we have recommended to the government that each and every department must have a youth directorate. And you are now having a situation where at the Premier's office you have a chief directorate, and in departments you have directors who are responsible for youth. So every time EX for your department seats, you will understand that there will be a youth director there who will be influencing that. No. Remember, there's youth unemployment. There are young people who are in drugs, young people who are in crime. These are the people that we need to focus on as a department, and these are the people we do not need to forget. And you'll also have it with municipalities doing the same thing. There will be institutionalization, but more important, you then begin a process where these managers are going to be tasked to speak to the political leadership to say they must budget for youth programs. If I can make an example, Mfundis, the office of the Premier in KwaZulu-Natal, this year, in the Premier's budget vote, or budget in the legislature, he has announced that starting from this year, he is now creating a youth fund. Now, this youth fund, he says, is set aside 50 million rand. This 50 million rand will be dealing with youth business opportunities or young people in business. If you are a young person, if I may make an example, if you are a young person and you would like to open a events management company, you'd be able to do a business plan and things like that and apply for funding from this youth fund. 50 million obviously will not deal with all the problems facing young people, but it's a start. It is a start where we're saying anybody beyond political affiliation, you are not going to be able to be eligible for this funding based on political affiliation. What makes you eligible is your age, number one, and then number two is also your business plan that will be making sense. Now, this is just one department, the Premier's office. Now, you also have other departments. If I make another example, the Department of Transport, it has introduced a program called Igula. Now, this program is also influenced by us as the youth. This program aims at bringing young people who are interested in the transport sector to give them opportunities, and they must start participating in the mainstream economy in the Department of Transport. So there are many of these programs that are across the province. That's only government now trying to make an intervention. You must remember that you also have a certain aspect. The government needs to begin to work together with private sector. The government needs to make a conducive environment so that business can strive. And once business strives, you have a potential of creating jobs. Now, you will understand that the government will have many programs that will ensure that happens. Like, for instance, the government will create ITZs, industrial development zones, where they will also create one-stop shops dealing with red tape, trying to invest, come and invest in KwaZulu-Natal, so that and we will ensure when you are coming to invest in KwaZulu-Natal that there's not much government bureaucracy or what is necessarily called the red tape. Come in the Dube Trade Port, there's a one-stop center where you can do all your applications, and you obviously create a manufacturing company if it's a manufacturing company, and all the government services that you will require you will find in a one-stop shop, so that it doesn't take you 3 years to establish. So that you reduce that time, you will understand the processes of EIAs and things like that. Now, that is a government trying to ensure that business thrives. And you will then obviously begin to say, all right, but this is what we want you to do. As a government, we are saying, this is land we want to give you, where you can do your factory. This is, you will require this and that. EIAs ordinarily will take a year. We will then reduce that time frame to 3 months. And now, once you are rolling, please employ young people. Please also get a South African partner if it's an international company. In that South African partner, there must be young people involved, so that young people start to be part of the economy of this country. Now, when you also speak about land, one funny comment made by former Comrade Terra or Comrade Terra Likota, where he says there's nobody who wants land in this country. It's crazy. There are thousands of young people all over our province who are interested in agriculture, for instance, if I can make an example. I can make examples of success stories. My friend who has just joined now, Ulungan Somop, I've just seen that he is just joined now. He has a very good story to tell about farming. Now, those are young people whom we need to encourage the government to give farms to during this process of land expropriation, because they know what to do with the land. They are farming this land. But we don't only want land for farming. Yeah, there are also other strategic pieces of land which can be dealt with for development and be availed in strategic areas by different municipalities, provincial government, and also land in private hands that needs and given to these young people, so that they can do development such as student accommodation, developments such as modern apartments, as we see of Vivian Reddy's in Mhlanga, who are creating skyscrapers, developments such as malls. Nowadays, we are seeing malls coming into townships and rural areas. So government must begin to help those young people through funds. Obviously, you have the PIC. The PIC must stop investing only in white people. It must begin to also look at young African people from the Republic of South Africa, whom it can invest to. But the most important thing, Mfundis, is that we are having an education system in our country which is not responding to the needs of our economy. That is why you have young people, even though the government spends so much money paying for young people in this country, but you have so many young people who are graduates and who are unemployed. It simply means that our education system is not responding to the needs of our economy. That is why you have. So you then need a situation where government, business, and labor can sit down and begin to craft a curriculum for the Republic of South Africa that will respond to our economy. So as a country, these are the issues that we need to be tackling and really unapologetically raising it with the leadership of the African National Congress.
Now, you know, Nopala, you are doing very well, but at some stage, I know Nopala Nimkumbuzuti issue say I said but speaking about that, one other question that I have for you. In National Executive Committee of the ANC Youth League, last year resolved that there must be 40% set asides for young people. Now, my question to you is, KwaZulu-Natal nibonile kusebenza yini lokho? That's question number one. Question number two, and remember, unga-address kuphela ku-government, uku-address nakuma-private sectors. Number 2, i-population yase-South Africa isitshela ukuthi abantu abasha ibona baba baningi nabantu abadala. So do you think 40% is enough since young people, South Africa is becoming young? So the first question is, 40% resolution ANC you click. Ubona usebenza yini?
Ibingelela nje ku Minister we Transport Africa ubaba umphephetho. Siyabingelela ngqongqoshe.
Asibingelele kakhulu. So now umbuzo uthi niyawubona yini 40% esebenza? Now umphendule ku-government naku-private sector. But 2, as I said, South Africa is becoming young. Abantu abasha ibona baba baningi South Africa. Do you think 40% is enough to assist issue youth unemployment?
No, mfundisi mhlambe ngifisa ukuqala nje a little bit historical. I-journey ya 40%. 40% is a resolution of the ANC Youth League National Congress. Yes. But it started with us here in our province, in KZN. When we went to a conference in 2015 in Lower South Coast, where we declared that youth representation must be at least 40%. Now, many people confuse what into 40%. They think we refer ama council representation as councillors, nama MP. We are also referring to business opportunity. All referring to the sector that it must make space. And let they set aside. But to bring, you must remember, Mfundis, this we are not just going to head over with a silver platter. This the youth of our country needs to fight for. What I mean when I say fight for, it doesn't mean we need to be physical about it. It means we need to join hands as the youth of our country and begin to demand our space. And so we are the majority. Even in society, we are the majority. But is it working in KwaZulu-Natal, as you ask? Let me make a full example, Mfundis. In the previous administration of the government, there was only one young person who was counted. Today, you don't have less than 20% young people who are counted. Now, we did not get that because we went and we begged for it. We simply went and we contested ANC processes. We said, all right, to be a councillor, what does the ANC say? It says you must be nominated by your ward, there must be a community meeting, there must be a screening process, then the ANC will agree that you can be a candidate. So who are the young people who can go and contest at their ward level? And we identified them across the province. And these young people began to contest, and they began to win. And the ANC began to start listening to us to say, let us consider more and more young people, both as ward councillors and as PRs of the National Congress. That's why even today you still see young people being incorporated as councillors in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We've then went to all departments and we've instructed youth managers. We have said to you the budget of your respective departments. Those budgets must begin to set aside for young people. If I've made an example already, the PRIM, I've made an example, the Department of Transport, the Department of Agriculture, almost all the departments are at a stage where they are making set aside. The Department of Basic Education are also making set aside. I want to make an example for you with regard to Toyota, in a company, Toyota, the Japanese company. As a leadership, we have engaged with Toyota because we have said to Toyota, look, you are one of the leading companies in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, where you are producing cars. Almost every second person on the road is driving a Toyota. in our province. It means you are doing very well as a company. Can you begin a process where you do a little bit of transformation? First, introduce Africans. Secondly, introduce young people. How? Not only as employees at the conveyor belt level. We've made an example to Toyota. We've said to Toyota, you can even set aside, for instance, to a youth-owned company, seats of every quantum, if I may make an example. Sabelo was here. He always calls me a taxi marshal. Of every quantum, if you set youth-owned cooperative to begin to provide you with seats for all quantums. So Toyota is listening to us. There are young people who are already within the sector and who are already benefiting from those programs. We've also said to Toyota, also help us with skills development. You are in the Durban South Basin. Townships that are close to you, Lamontville, Umlas, Chesterfield, rural areas, Umbumbul, Wamapu. Help young people in those areas. Give them skills and begin a process of absorbing them in your company. So those are the processes that we are doing in trying to work with private sector in the creation of jobs. It's not an easy job, but if we hold hands and we have all structures, I was saying one of my addresses in Mbatha-Moyo, I was saying to them, you have got big mining companies that engage them about setting aside jobs for young people. So this is going to require a joint effort, both government, business, and labor. But more importantly, for us as the youth, if we believe that it's going to be handed over on a silver platter, not going to happen. We have to rise and we have to claim what is.
Now, even though, because in the scale of 1 to 10, 40% unikeza ngaki? Just one answer. In a scale of 1 to 10, 40% set aside ku government in our private sectors unikeza ngaki 1 up to 10. KwaZulu-Natal.
No, KwaZulu-Natal we could, in government you could say there is work that is being done, so you can give it 1 in a scale of 10. No, I'm not going to lie here and paint a rosy picture. There's still a long way to go in our province in this transformation that we are championing. So I would give it in a scale from 1 to 10, 1. But we private sector, I would give it 0.5.
Uyabona ke nopala uthena uqala ukukhuluma wathi it's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Issue and unemployment of young people in this country. If now the very same government that we are in, government of the ANC, uzokwazi ukunakekela abantu abasha ngale ndlela lo usho ngayo, then we are facing a serious problem. Now, I just want to before ungena, because ngifuna uphendule umbuzo kade Dan Mabhunu Mkhize, a very interesting question. But before uphendule lo mbuzo lo ngifuna ukuthi, don't you think i-effort ye-youth league kumele ibe ngaphezu kwaloko eyiko today in order to address the matter? Remember, i-youth league kumele ibe radical, kumele ibe militant on these issues. So uma kuno 1%, kusho ukuthi abantu abasha they are being failed in a sense. But briefly, what can we do to make sure ukuthi le issue ka 40% asibe no 1 kodwa siba no 7 in the next 5 years briefly.
Mfundisi, I did say I'm not going to paint a rosy picture because it will not be the truth. I did say I want to say it as it is. What I can say, while I've given them a 1 out of 10, but they have moved. Remember, I've said the private sector will not 0.5.
Yeah.
Now, government waKwaZulu Natal. Government isikhathi esiningi obuholwa abantu abasethe ukuqina.
Yeah.
Usuthanda ukuthi ube younger ke manje. Lo government. Okay. There was work being done by the Youth League to that effect. Like interested on our former leaders, ANC Youth League. So that is why I'm saying this is a continuous work by the government. And the more the Youth League presses on, the more the situation is going to change. We are going to turn the corner as the province of KwaZulu Natal. I believe so. At the current leadership, we are going to turn. There is a political will from the political leadership to help the youth. The premier of the province, has made very bold statements in the state province address, which is very important that we turn the corner. If I go to a question, what are the consequences of the land that will be taken, and what is the contingency plan? I think one, the ANC Youth League has always advocated for land expropriation without compensation, but not for land grabs. The ANC Youth League was advocating for an amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution. Now, which means the ANC Youth League is pushing for a program that must be done by the government in a legal format, not in an illegal manner, where you are just going to have chaos in the country, where people are just going to be grabbing land there and there. It means that when the Constitution is amended to have Section 25, when you have the Section 25 of the Constitution amended, you will then have a process where the government must come up with a clear program of action in terms of we are going to expropriate land. And this is what is going to be done with the land that is expropriated in a legal manner. And this is what the government is also going to help those who are going to be beneficiaries of the land to ensure that you don't also have a process where uhulumeni ebuyisela umhlaba ebantwini umhlaba ugcina usuhlala ungasetshenzisiwe. So ugovernment uzofuneka enzele sure maningi amaplaza asebuyisiwe ebantwini. Ngiyazi ukuthi urefer kumaplaza, for instance khona amaplaza aseMaritzburg mawubheke ngako mawuya ngasemvuti,
yeah,
ungakafika eNew Hanover kunamaplaza abe lapho uhulumeni abuyisele ebantwini. And now abantu bakithi bahluleka ukulima bagcina besika indawo bedayisa ama-plots of land bedayisela abanye abantu bakithi. Now I'm saying the government must have a clear plan lapho ku-situation ukuthi we give you this farm, but this is how we are going to help you to be successful. Remember, Amabhunu didn't just become successful not because they were smart, they were assisted. Yeah. I can quote President Chief Albert Luthuli. I can narrate a story if you'll allow me for just 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay.
Chief Albert Luthuli, at one stage, he went to Etolope in Esteng. So why next door? So ifama le yambona ifama le kumakhelwane wakhe yathi kuyena icela ukumnika ulift bephinde emumva ekhaya. So yamnika ulift at the time ke uChief Albert Luthuli is the president of the
Yeah. I'm sorry, somebody is disturbing no bhala phepha. Sinomuntu ngiyabona yabo live uloke phone engaqedi. Angazi abantu they get too excited. But sorry about that, Nopal. But I want to give you umbuzo kadeta, not owesibili, ngiyabona owesibili. Oqala uthi,
Oh,
Nopala, what is your view in the issue of the rebonded land that is technically owned by the banks, and that money has been invested overseas and thus not generating income to repay and contribute to the GDP? That was the question. And secondly, uphendule nombuzo kaSpay Zungu obuza ukuthi yini role ye-Ithala Bank ukulekelela abantu abasha elento KwaZulu Natal.
ngizama ukufunda lo mbuzo lo kaMombo. Maybe ngiqale kulo kaSpay. You will know that Ithala Bank is an institution kahulumeni we-province yaKwaZulu Natal. Now, Ithala Bank it operates as a bank, but it operates as a revolutionary bank. What do I mean when I say it operates as a revolutionary bank? You see, when you go and borrow imali at Ithala Bank, it's unlike borrowing imali FNB or imali ABSA or Standard Bank, because our interest rates, which determines your repayment rate. Our Ithala Bank, they are between 4% and 7%, which is a very low interest rate. Now, mean that if you are a young person and you have a business initiative and this initiative gets funded, it means that you will pay a lower rate than what you would ordinarily pay in FNB, ABSA, or Standard. And it means that you will be able to grow your business as a young person. And indeed, we have also met with the acting CEO of Ithala Bank, and we have spoken to of young people. Obviously, they are limited because the Provincial Treasury was on Natal. With those limited resources, young people are encouraged, and we do encourage them to buy Ithala Bank, food funding, and baqala ama business up. You will remember also ukuthi if you go to ama bank lawa in commercial, lawo ma bank ma uyoboleka imali, for instance, bazofuna into ebizwa kuthiwa i-collateral. Mhlawumbe mangayichaza phecelezi ukuthi into ezoba yisibambiso. So meaning that for them to give you a loan, they want you to own a certain piece of property somewhere, so that should you fail to repay the loan, they will then take that piece of land and sell it and regain their money, if it's a piece of land or whatever asset it is. Now, Ithala Bank will not necessarily be that strict. That is why I say it's a revolutionary bank, and it is there for the development of the province, while the main commercial banks are there for profit making. Remember, Standard Bank is a business on its own, while Ithala Bank operates as a bank, but it is a developmental bank. Its aim is to assist in the development process of the province of KwaZulu Natal. There are many initiatives Ithala can help young people with, and we encourage young people across the province to work with it. We are also encouraging Ithala as an institution to now be able to make itself accessible across the province. Because another thing that makes someone ukuthi angabi encouraged ukuvula account ukuzibuza nje ukuthi okay ke mase ngivulile i-account eThala mangise gateway iphi ATM yaseThala gateway.
Yes.
So Ithala must make itself accessible, but equally Ithala must keep up with the technology. Yabona mawubuka ibank yaseThala in the manner in which, or the speed in which it works with, you will see that there's a difference between lawa amanye amabhenki ownwa onqiwa. So iThalake must begin to adapt, because it will end up in a situation where izofana neNokia. iNokia was once a giant of the industry making cell phones, which was the biggest cell phone making company in the world. Today it's overtaken by Apple. Now, CEO was when Nokia mevali Nokia, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost out. He's losing the plot. They did not conform to the new technologies. That is why they lost out to Apple. Now, iThalake as well needs to renew itself and become a modern bank so that it becomes attractive to young people. But mfundisi angitetelanga ngiqede leya story bengizama ukusinarrate kodwa ke show yakho le mfundisi.
Wozana beyithi ngifuna ubuye kuso, woza naso story. Now ngifuna uze kule story ungakhohlwa umbuzo kaDedani. Bese umbuzo wokugcina before sivala.
Okay.
What happened? Because enye into evimba i-unemployment abantu abasha South Africa, it is because i-Reserve Bank has not been nationalized. What is it that is stopping us from nationalizing the Reserve Bank? Nazo izinto ezikumele nobhala.
Okay. Mangiqala kulesa story sami bengisinarrate Chief Albert Luthuli. You'll remember I was trying to say Amabhunu did not just become successful because they were smart in the farming process, but they were assisted. So Chief Albert Luthuli ke mega hamba nalo mlungu or leli bhunu back home emotweni. So then umlungu aqala conversation about land. Ukuthi and this is abantu abamnyama ukuthi they are unable to farm, and their land is life fallow, and their crops not growing at the rate as the crops of the world. That's abantu abamnyama land. So Chief Albert Luthuli narrates a story. A white farmer is given South Africa, and they are given loans, so they buy equipment and buy fertilizers to the crop are growing well. That is the guy. While a black man is unable to get a loan from the same bank simply because black, but number his land has no value, while the land of the white man has value. I think that Bonyama Trust is big. You have Bonyama with hectares of land in rural areas because they are Bonyama Trust. They don't have right to eat. They're unable to in everything. So the point I'm making is that women help Amabhunu in farming by assistance and loans. So our government as well, during the process of land expropriation, must begin to also help our people with loans and grants, but also equip our people with skills, so that you don't take umfundisi who has a skill of praying, umfundisi umoya,
yeah.
Once you do that without skilling umfundisi umoya, obviously that's going to run down. So that story was being narrated by Chief Albert Luthuli in his book, Let My People Go.
And it's a good story.
Yes, and Comrade President Lutuli, they have still not let us go. That's the reality. The youth of your country still languishes in poverty and has no chance of succeeding unless things are turned around. But we are positive. We are going to turn things around in the country. Going back to the land that is rebonded and technically owned by banks. Look, my view is that in the process of expropriation, the government will obviously need to separate the different pieces of that. What type of land we have in the Republic of Africa? The government will need to check illegal and legal things that have been done with the land and have a full-scale investigation about things, because you see there are many ways of running away from what you will call the coming revolution when the land is going to be returned to the people. I can argue that there are other ways which white farmers are now doing to try and avert the issue of land expropriation without compensation. For instance, you would if you look at Durban, you look at Tongat Hewlett. Tongat Hewlett owns strategic pieces of land in Durban, but some of these were farms which have now been converted into developmental land, and the land sold. So our government must begin a process of checking what has been done with this land and what necessarily needs to be done with the process. Now, with the rebonded land, technically yes, that land is now not owned by South Africa. If you have a situation where they are owned by banks which are not South African banks. So, our government mayosha umthetho we-expropriation uzodetermine what is going to be expropriated. And if expropriation is done in the public interest of our country. So it will not matter. The point will be that this land is going to be expropriated for the common good of the public in the Republic of South Africa. So the bond, iyofuneka ibuka umnikazi webond ukuthi uzoyenza njani. Ikona nje lokho kuyodingeka akubona.
Mhlawumbe not today. Ngelinye ilanga, we need to deal with the issue expropriation of land without compensation, and also deal with the matter that Dan has raised, because you know, when you hear from the ground, we are told that Abelung have done that, and it's a serious problem. They've seen what the resolution ANC is ngamandla, so basebenzama na system abebhedayo, but it's fine. But my last question, the resolution of the ANC, which we support Congress, and as Rick said, the Reserve Bank must be nationalized. In Parliament,
but
we only
your viewers like Uzwele are really trying to disturb your program from this. You must begin to call order to your viewers like Uzwele.
No, Uzwele, so but my question is, by the way, issue expropriation of land without compensation. Yeah, lead to ANC, you click with Congress. Yeah, winner. Together with issue nationalization of Reserve Bank. Now you are then dealing with the issue youth unemployment. But on a problem you go to e-bank in South Africa, the owner abantu private. Now what happened, because we are pushing the expropriation of land, but when we have to deal with issue Reserve Bank, city sisazo, so the Ambelama branch, what's going on? Because you'll never address issue unemployment in South Africa. if you don't deal with each reserve bank. Let me give you an example before you answer. President Vladimir Putin, in 1996, before 1996, there were no billionaires in Russia. He took over, he nationalized the reserve bank, and today Russia is doing exceptionally well. Yiles Sabayo who nationalize a reserve bank while youth of this country are not working. Sijika sifake nomuntu onangisho matric, by the way.
Engathi it was a rumor leyo ukuthi akanawo matric.
Oh, okay. Let's
Yeah.
accept it to be
Mfundisi, let's start here. The ANC in its Congress in Nazareth, which elected President Cyril Ramaphosa, December 2017, took a resolution that the Reserve Bank must be nationalized. No other platform except a national Congress can change that. What is remaining now is that the progressive democratic government must begin to implement that resolution without hesitation. What we are seeing now, where there's a new consultation process that is set to take place, is exactly what the branches of the ANC must begin to reject. And the youth of this country must begin to raise this matter and say the Reserve Bank must be nationalized. The President of the Republic, Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, is very clear about land expropriation. Very, very clear. And we're very happy about that. Everywhere he speaks, even in London when he was speaking, he made it clear that there's a need to expropriate land for our people. Now, we need to be able as the Youth League to also convince him to also be firm and strong about the nationalization of the Reserve Bank. And with a strong ANC Youth League, Mfundisi, the Reserve Bank will be nationalized.
But before we go, if we call umuntu oyedwa nje onombuzo othi unobhala azange awucoverishe angawubhala so that unobhala azokwazi ukuthi awucoverishe. One last question. September. We are having a national conference of the ANC Youth League. Now, angifuni igama. Who should be the president of the ANC Youth League?
Are you asking me?
Angifuni igama.
All right.
Angifuni correct. Who should be the president of the ANC Youth League vis-a-vis the high rate of young people who are not working, vis-a-vis what is happening outside? Young people are not working, are poor. Others are high on drugs. There are so many things. Who should be the president of the ANC Youth League? I'm not saying I'm not because I'm full far on the spot. I'm not asking for a name. I want a character.
No, I'm definitely not gonna give you a name, Mfundisi. No, yes. My point, my answer to that question of yours would be the ANC Youth League needs to elect amongst its cadres one of the best. A leader that will be dedicated to serving the youth of our country. A leader that has a traceable track record. And a leader that obviously is not in the pockets of any other leader of our country. A leader that will simply stand firm and represent the interest of the youth of our country. But also yes. A leader that will be in a position to defend the leadership of the African National Congress and the gains made by the democratic government. Now, the last point, Mfundisi, South Africa is a complex country. It's not a country that can continue to be led by common sense. We need a leader that is also vested with skills. A leader that has. That is the type of a leader the ANC Youth League needs to elect Mfundisi. Thank you.
Angeke no usandile ubuza ukuthi are you ready nobhala ngicela ungawuphendula lo mbuzo lowo. But ngicela uphendule umbuzo kwaKhayakazi. uKhayakazi, I think that will be our last question. Ukhuluma nge-sub report to morphine blah 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 blah. I think yawubona lo mbuzo ungakwazi ukuphendula nobhala bese siyavala.
Uthini uKhaya?
uKhayakazi.
South African Reserve Bank report to, yeah.
Yeah, my opinion, we as the government aren't able to inform microeconomic policy and wouldn't even if shareholding patterns will change. I think it's not a question, it's just a statement. No, it's a statement.
Okay.
Okay, yes, it's a statement. But no, Bala siyabonga kakhulu for your time. Siyabona imisebenzi yakho KwaZulu Natal. Youth League KwaZulu Natal iyaphila, i-vibrant. Sibonga kakhulu.
I'd like to say to you, Mfundisi, there are many other leaders of the Youth League who, across the country, who are very committed to the cause of young people in the country. You are beginning to see the youth in the Eastern Cape start.
Okay. Yes, Kubera Nopal. I don't know. Usakhona Nopal? I don't know what happened to Nopal. Probably uzophinda phone. Angazi umsephele ama-data kodwa ngikhotha phela ama-data uzobuya soon siqhubeke ngoba angifuni ngivale singazange sikhulume naye. Khona into ebalekile bezama ukuthi ayi-address. Buya nobhala, we are waiting for you. Iphume ngephutha. I think it's a sabotage. Guys, this is not Balawe province. You can't say that you know Balawe province. Angaphela kanjani ama-data engaphelanga kumfundisi msadlala ngonobhala. But guys, we thank unobhala we-province yakwaZulu Natal. We'll have more of these discussions phezulu, whereby we'll invite him as Okuluma and many other leaders. Like tomorrow morning at 7, sizobe sinokhombo tukwazi msheni, sizobe sidila nge-issue education, the importance, the role edlalwa yi-education kubantu abasha base-South Africa. Ngiyabona indoda kaGwamanda kusho ukuthi amadatsha madoda athe ukunyamalala, kodwa-ke njengomfundisi sizocela sibeke isoso madoda silungiselele uGwamanda ama-data. But on a lighter note, but-ke sesikushilo konke lokho okwenzakalile nokhulunywa nobhala, I just wanna make ama-emphasis athi young people are important. They are important. If you want to invest as a country for future, you must invest in young people. Nake njengomfundisi, I'm reminded of ivesi eBhayibhelini. Abanye sebazi ukuthi iculo, but ivesi eBhayibhelini iye kubuhle bokubazi ebusheni bakho lapho ungakadluli ubusha bakho. Now, kuhle ukwazi uNkulunkulu ebusheni bakho, futhi kuhle ukusebenza usemncane. Futhi kuhle ukuthi ube rich usemncane la ubusha bakho bungakandluli. With those few words, may the Heavenly Father, the Lord of all, bless you all. In Jesus' name, I love you. Bye.